Now at 5 a.m., it's WKYT This Morning. A meeting to discuss plans and concerns over the new Bluegrass Stockyards facility will be held today.
Nicholasville firefighters are encouraging community members to celebrate St. Patrick's Day by helping a sick firefighter.
And it's the day fans have been waiting for as the Kentucky Wildcats prepare to take on Stony Brook tonight.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Michelle Chamberlain. Thanks so much for joining us on this St. Patrick's Day.
And I'm Bill Bryan, and we certainly are glad you're along with us. Lots of folks getting their brackets filled out here. You know, the hours are ticking away for tonight's tip-off for
Can't say I'm not
action.
doing that.
Yeah, I know. You've got one of those all-the-way baby brackets.
Got my glasses, my phone, my brackets, commercial breaks. That's what I'm doing.
You got it. All right, let's check in. Meteorologist Micah Harris is in with us. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. And what we're going to be seeing outside for today, dropping the temperatures once again. You're going to hear me say that every single day throughout the rest of the week, which we only have one more day, which is Friday. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. We're looking out and about, seeing on First Alert Definitive Radar Network a string of clouds right over us here in Lexington and Frankfort. Now, they're moving northbound, and you can see that with the temperatures. As we're at 50 degrees in Lexington, we were at 54 when I walked in. Frankfort's still at 54, but watch these clouds try to get on out of the way. And we'll have a really nice looking day. It's going to be breezy. Still pretty mild considering where we typically are this time of year, which is in the mid-50s. But the weekend, it's going to have a winter feel. I'm going to show you how low we go with those temperatures and when we could possibly see some flakes. That's coming up.
Okay, we'll see you in a bit. Thank you.
Owners of the Bluegrass Stockyards are scheduled to hold a presentation this morning with a detailed plan of what may be featured in the new facility off I-75.
But because the stockyards will be built on the Fayette-Scott County line, officials will also address concerns over the new facility potentially posing a threat to the area's water supply. There may be a lot of questions there. WKYT's Mark Barber is joining us live from Georgetown with more on today's meeting. Mark?
Good morning, Bill. The meeting here at the Georgetown Water Company will likely focus on concerns that building the new Bluegrass Stockyards over the city's main source of drinking water could contaminate the water supply. Whether the large project actually poses a threat to the aquifer, that remains unclear. Construction crews will start work on the new stockyards on Ironworks Pike off I-75 this summer. Once they break ground, it will take 18 months to finish the new facility. The owners of the stockyards chose their location on the Fayette-Scott County line last month after the stockyards on Lyle Industrial Avenue were destroyed in a devastating fire. The new location would give them easy access to the interstate and would allow them to stay in Fayette County. During today's meeting at the water company, the owners of the stockyards will give an advisory group a detailed look at what they are planning to build. The group is made up of people from both Scott and Fayette County, and while they will not vote on the proposal, they will make recommendations. Now, this meeting is open to the public, and it starts here at 9:30 this morning at this Georgetown Water Company on Main Street. Live in Scott County, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, we'll see how that goes and what questions are raised today. The community will once again have the chance to support a Lexington firefighter who is battling cancer.
Yeah, beginning this morning, the Nicholasville Fire Department will be cooking up an Irish breakfast at the break room on Manchester Street to raise money for firefighter Matt Logsdon. Special t-shirts will also be sold. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner joins us now with more on today's fundraiser.
Michelle, it's a St. Patrick's Day tradition for firefighters in Nicholasville to raise money for their local chapter. They sell t-shirts, but this year they have a whole new cause. They'll be selling those t-shirts for firefighter Matt Logsdon. Now, the Nicholasville Fire Department says they knew they had to do something, and that's why at 9 o'clock this morning they'll serve an Irish breakfast at the break room in Lexington. The fundraiser itself started with just firefighters, and now it's open to the public. They'll be serving the masses. They're cooking 300 pounds of sausage, up to 1,500 eggs, and 250 pounds of potatoes. Now, those t-shirts say Brothers in Battle, and they also say Matt Logsdon. They normally sell about 50 of those, and they had 250 pre-ordered just the other day. So at 9 o'clock this morning, many are expected to show up here. All donations will go straight to Matt Logsdon. In Lexington, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
All right, thank you, Caitlin, and hopefully a lot of folks will turn out and support him as they have done here in recent weeks.
I'm sure they will. I mean, I've been amazed by the amount of support I've seen for him over the last few months.
Time this morning right now 5:05, and the stage is set for the UK basketball team as later this evening they will begin NCAA tournament action against a team called Stony Brook.
Unlike years past, Coach Cal's team does have NCAA experience this year. There are a few younger players new to the tournament, but there are more guys who've been in big-time games before. Either way, this year's team has been through adversity and now playing its best ball of the season, which was capped off by an SEC tournament championship on Sunday. Now, despite being seated lower than expected, the Wildcats are ready to face whoever stands in their way of another Final Four. Tonight's game tips off at 9:40 and can be seen right here on WKYT. For more UK and NCAA tournament coverage, just go to our website, WKYT.com. You can also check out the WKYT News app.
All right, March Madness in all of its glory. Even though the Wildcats are finished playing in Rupp Arena for this year, there's still some basketball being played there this week. Over the next few days, Rupp will be home to the boys' Sweet 16 tournament. The action officially got underway yesterday. Games were held throughout the afternoon. For fans here in Lexington, the biggest game featured a matchup between Paul Laurence Dunbar and Mercer County. Over 900 Dunbar students bought tickets to see the Bulldogs play in their first Sweet 16 since 1997. Win or lose, supporters before the game just wanted to see their team enjoy the moment.
This is the first time in 19 years we've been back. The school started in 1990. In the first 7 years of the school's existence, we got to this game 3 times, 93, 94, and 97, and haven't been back since.
From tip-off to the final minutes, the game remained neck and neck, an exciting one. But in the end, Dunbar came out on top, winning it 58-55. Dunbar is the only school in Lexington remaining in the tournament. They now advance to the quarterfinals and will play Bowling Green Friday at 1:30, tomorrow 1:30 afternoon.
Exciting times. So the number of confirmed flu cases in Lexington continues to rise. The Fayette County Health Department is reporting 52 confirmed flu cases so far, but that's 12 more than just a week ago. The Centers for Disease Control reports widespread flu activity in Kentucky, among other states.
Dozens of people gathered in Winchester to remember those who were lost in last week's deadly apartment fire. Police say Tina Reynolds, Dixie Everman, and Donald Heisel were all killed in that fire. Last night, friends and family members held a vigil to honor the victims. Lori Hay, who adopted Tina Reynolds when she was just 8, says their last memory together was a phone call 2 days before the fire. And the last thing they said to each other was, "I love you."
I'm thankful that that's the last thing that either one of us said to each other.
As for the man who police say caused the fire, Jackie Heisel, Lori says she forgives him. In an exclusive interview with WKYT News on Monday, Heisel apologized for starting the fire while smoking around an oxygen tank. He is charged with 3 counts of manslaughter. Well, WKYT This Morning is just getting started on your Thursday, St. Patrick's Day morning. Glad to have you with us. More news on the way.
A man in China is setting out on a personal goal to inspire others with disabilities. His story when we return.
And it's St. Patrick's Day. We still have a little green there on temperatures and on the radar early this morning. That means at least a sprinkle out and about. We're going to talk about these temperatures falling, though. That's the focus, and I'll have that coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We have a little boundary right over us, and that's keeping some of us a lot milder than others. Some of us really chilly this morning, but this is what we're going to be looking at. And you can see a couple of sprinkles showing up anywhere from Highway 68 as you roll through that Nicholas County area, Carlisle, right through downtown, and then head up toward Mason County, and then back toward Lewis County, northern portions of Fleming County. That's where we're seeing a couple of sprinkles here and there, but all that action, nothing to be worried about. But this is what it's doing. It's 54 there in Frankfort, 50 degrees in Lexington, and then 40s down south, and even some 30s down toward the Cumberland region. So it kind of depends on where you are early this morning. Will depend on the feel as you walk outside. Here in Lexington, it doesn't feel bad. But down south and towards Somerset, Science Hill, and then work your way back toward Jamestown, that's where we're seeing some pretty cold conditions. Usually flip-flop, right? Well, we're flipping the script this morning. Once we hit the afternoon, low 60s, and that's slightly cooler than where we were yesterday. Yesterday it was mid to upper 60s and even a couple of 70s sprinkled in far south and southeastern Kentucky. But today it's going to be anywhere from 4 degrees to 8 degrees cooler. And to throw in that wind and maybe a couple of clouds here and there, that could turn out to be a cool afternoon for some. Typically, it wouldn't feel that bad, but we've been spoiled the past several days. Let's go off into the evening. Things look fine going down towards Sweet 16. Still looking at just beautiful conditions. But don't forget, if you're going to that late game, walking out, heading back to your car, it's going to be a bit chilly. But an interesting weekend ahead. So today and tomorrow look good. But Saturday and Sunday, not so much. Watch what happens Saturday. We get some rain in here. It's not a lot, but it does cover a good portion of our viewing area. And we're going to be seeing scattered showers here and there. Could we get some snow mixed in? I think that's the question. And that's going to be something we're going to be able to answer with confidence here probably tomorrow, I believe is your best bet, because it's going to happen Saturday night into Sunday that we could get a few flakes. Now, if we do get some flakes out of this, it's going to be light. Don't expect much out of this, especially with those grounds being extremely warm. That'll take you off into Sunday morning. Both days, temperatures for highs in the afternoon in the low to mid 40s. So then we hit next week. How long are these 40s going to stick with us? Well, they stick with us about 3 days. So it's a few days, but it's short-lived. Because then we hit Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, and you see those temperatures back in the 60s and 70s, back to the pattern that we were just going through. So it's short-lived, but it is there. And Michelle, like you were talking about earlier, that it's spring. You know, you get a little shot during the weekend. That's never going to hurt anybody at 43. But still a little chilly out there. You know, we were hoping that we could turn the corner. It doesn't look like that's going to happen because we get that big shot there this
The
weekend.
roller coaster of Kentucky
It
weather.
is.
Well,
It's
spring
up
is
and
typically the most volatile season, you
You're
know,
exactly
but,
right.
but it's fun because we know we're pushing toward the warmer
you go.
days, right? 5:14 is our time now on WKYT this morning.
A 27-year-old man in China is not letting his disability keep him from seeing all of his country has to offer.
Quan Pang is a paraplegic who uses a wheelchair to get around. Last summer, he left Beijing with the intention of making a cross-country trip. And with the help of a Navigator app, he has already traveled more than 1,200 miles and has been documenting his journey on social media. Quan has seen 27 cities so far and is more than halfway to his goal of visiting 52 cities. He says he decided to take on the trip simply as a personal challenge, but he also hopes his challenge encourages other paralyzed people to travel and explore the world. So seizing the moment there, good for him.
Yeah, good for him, and it's beautiful scenery.
It is. I mean, you can see why he wants to get out and see the land. Good to have you along on WKYT on your Thursday morning, St. Patrick's Day. More news in just a moment.
When we return, a look at your money.
A new car designed to give the competition a run for its money, and why retailers may have more than just the luck of the Irish when it comes to St. Patrick's Day sales. I'm Karina Mitchell with those stories coming up in your CBS Money Watch report.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back in. WKYT this morning on the air, St. Patrick's Day morning, rolling toward 5:19 right now. CBS is hitching its online video service to the new Star Trek series. And Chevrolet's new Camaro has a souped-up engine.
And a large amount of Guinness is expected to be consumed today. Karina Mitchell has the latest on your money.
Investors will wait to see if Wall Street can extend gains made yesterday after the Fed announced it will leave key interest rates unchanged for now. On Wednesday, the Dow picked up 74 points while the Nasdaq added 35. CBS is hoping its new Star Trek series will take off at warp speed and help boost subscriptions when the show debuts in January. The series will air exclusively on the network's all-access online video service. CBS plans to release 3 or 4 original series each year for the $6 a month service. And if you feel the need for speed, Chevrolet's new 2017 Camaro ZL1 may be just the thing. The automaker says the car's sleek design features a souped-up engine and options that include an all-new 10-speed automatic transmission system. The car rolls out later this year. And expect St. Patrick's Day to generate a whole lot of green, and not just from the people sporting the color. According to a new survey from Wallet Hub, Americans are expected to shell out about $4.4 billion on the celebration. And getting into the spirit means an estimated 13 million pints of Guinness will be consumed worldwide. And that's your Money Watch. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. In New York, I'm Karina Mitchell.
Well, when it comes to young people buying SUVs, it appears that bigger is better. Ford says its midsize SUV, the Explorer, is more popular than the compact Escape with so-called millennials. Those are people between the ages of 25 and 34. It was believed that millennials preferred smaller SUVs because they're less expensive and easier to park. But Ford says older millennials are moving to the suburbs and having children, making larger SUVs a better option. Ford also says it is seeing millennials buying larger vehicles before having kids because they are looking toward the future and planning. So it's kind of interesting. Millennials are interesting. You know, they do plan.
Well, now they split them into two groups.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Young millennials and old millennials. But it's interesting. You know, they do have the game planned. You know, no doubt
smart.
about it.
Plan
Right.
ahead.
Yeah. 5:21 our time on WKYT this morning. Good morning to you again. A lot more news is on the way. Hope you can stay with us.
That's right. Sports is next.
It is game day. Kentucky and Stony Brook later tonight. We will go to Iowa for a preview, and we also check in on the boys Sweet 16. We had a down-to-the-wire dandy between Mercer County and Dunbar. The highlights are next.
Kind of depends on where you are this morning. 30s down in the far southern half. Look at Somerset and also sitting there in Monticello. Then go up a little northbound into the 40s. Get a little northbound than that into the 50s. So it all depends on where you are. But we have some cloud cover. That's why we're staying a little bit warmer than everybody else. Right here in the central and northern zones by the afternoon. Low 60s, a cool breeze in the forecast. So we're a little bit cooler today, but it's still a really good looking day here for St. Patrick's Day. That's your look at your forecast. We'll have an update on news coming up in just a few minutes. Let's check out sports, see what's going on.
It's only been a couple of days since UK has won the SEC title, but they get ready for an NCAA title run tonight. Rob Bromley has more from Iowa.
Stony Brook has never been in the NCAA tournament before, but the Seawolves have 6'8" senior Jameel Warney. He's averaging almost a double-double. This is a team that lost in overtime at Vanderbilt right at the beginning of the season.
You know, we may show clips in that score. They played Notre Dame to a terrific game on the road. Matter of fact, they scored in the post whenever they wanted to. And Notre Dame beat them, you know, they overwhelmed them a little bit.
He's good, you know, he's a great player, you know, they got a great team, great coach, you know. So we got to do a great job of playing them real good on defense and make sure you put a body on them at all times.
All the action right here on WKYT. Late tip about 9:40 tonight. In fact, it's a big day of NCAA action across the country. In Des Moines and Wells Fargo Arena, Rob Bromley, WKYT.
Thank you very much, Rob. Now to the boys Sweet 16, the marquee matchup of the first round of the state tournament. It was the last game last night. Mercer County and Dunbar, and it was incredible. Good as advertised. Mercer County's marksman Dylan James, a three, giving the Titans a 3-point lead. We go to the fourth. What a night for Tavion Hollingsworth. Tough shot, puts Dunbar ahead by 1. Under 4 minutes to go, we're tied. Hollingsworth unties it. He had 32. Final minute, Mercer County playing from behind. Will Hager will drive, scores, and it cuts the lead to 1 for Dunbar. 10 seconds to go. Mercer County down 1. They have a chance to take the lead, and the Titans throw it away. Ball out of bounds. It goes to Dunbar, and they seal it at the line. Hollingsworth does the honors, and Mercer County falls in the first round to Dunbar. 58-55 the final.
They wanted me to step up and take the role as a scorer and play D and do what I had to do to get us to win.
He's just one of those kind of players, you know, there's something special about him. The pressure doesn't bother him. He knows how to make plays and when to make them, you know.
It's been a dream season for kids, but, you know, they deserve to be here, and I feel like they deserve to be in that basketball game. And, you know, we had an opportunity to win, and that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, tough way to lose. Mercer County 33-2 on the year. Dunbar will now face another 30-win team in Bowling Green on Friday. That's a look at sports. Have a great day.